scare me. I'm sticking to the union. I'm sticking to the union. I'm sticking to the union. Oh, you can't scare me. I'm sticking to the union. I'm sticking to the union till the day I die.
I want to thank MoveOn.org and all the volunteers who put this event together in less than a week. Less than a week. This is a national day of action that MoveOn.org has organized as part of their Defend the American Dream campaign. And when I say it's a national day of action, I really mean it. There are over 220 events happening all over the country today. Events just like this one. So this is a national movement. It started in Wisconsin. It's growing stronger by the day, and it will not stop. We won't quit until there is justice for the American worker. We have a message. So we're here to show solidarity with the people in Wisconsin. Our message to them is, you've been an inspiration for the entire country. We're watching you. We're learning from you. We're going to take your example, and we're going to make sure your message is heard around the country. And we're not going to stop until there's meaningful change around the country. And we know what we're up against. What Governor Walker's doing now, we're seeing it done in Michigan. We're seeing it done all over the country. States have lined up in Maine, in other places, all over the country. The conservatives, the Tea Party, the Republicans are launching a full-on assault on the middle class, on the American worker. And the people in Wisconsin, the workers in Wisconsin, are showing us how to stand up and fight.
Now when a governor tries to tell you that he'll take your rights away, representing corporations and doing what they say, well, your union's not a union till he's thrown out of the way, and he's choking on your legs of the chain, of the chain. Yes, he's choking on your legs on the chain. Now the times they are telling you that times are rolling on, and you're fighting for the same thing, you know, the jobs that will be gone. It's time to ask those folks in Washington, which side are you on? As we're building all our lanes on the chain, on the chain. Yes, we're building all our lanes on the chain. Now those protesters in Madison know what this fight is for. It's the battle for collective rights as Wall Street profits soar. And it's the fate of every union and all the working poor, depending on our lanes of the chain, of the chain, depending on our links on the chain, on the chain, depending on our links on the chain.
It's time to take back Wisconsin from those who have hijacked our government. If you believe in that, make some noise. Make some noise. I don't know about you, but in Brooklyn we make a lot of noise. When we get angry, we make noise. And this is about bringing together progressive voices to say, this is not the American dream, and take back our dream. Take back our government. Take back those who have hijacked our government, who stand up for special interests and for corporations. The reality is that this is not an attack on labor unions. The fact is that the labor unions built the middle class. And we country. So Wisconsin, we stand with you. You have won one battle, but you have not won the war. We will take it back. We will take it back without progressive voices, and we will again strike down any attempt in New York State against any Republican right-wing attempt to take over our government. We've got to stand up, stand up, stand up, and defend those programs. In Wisconsin and also in New York, they want to cut back on programs to protect seniors and children and the homeless and working class people. And what we say to them is, no, you will not do it. But what we have is the power of protest and our voices and our ability to organize progressive voices to say that we should save the American dream. All of us should join together, united, to say to tax the rich and those who are responsible for the decline in our economy. They're responsible. I don't know of any senior citizen who caused this recession. What about you? I don't know of any child. 1/3 of all children in New York City are living in poverty. I don't know of any child who caused this recession. What about you? I don't know about you, but most unions, the unions did not cause this recession. What about you? Do you know any? And if any billionaires are in the room, out here at the rally today, I believe it's about shared sacrifice and the ability to pay your fair share. That's really what this is all about. And what we should not do and understand is make unions the enemy, because they are not the union. They are not the enemy. They made New York. They built New York. They built Wisconsin. They built this nation. And we just defend their right to organize. That's what really this is all about. So New York, we're with Wisconsin because we are Wisconsin. We are Wisconsin. We are Wisconsin. We are Wisconsin. And any person who suffers, we are with them. We feel their pain, and that's why we need to stand up, because we are their voice. For those, the voiceless and the invisible, and those who have been locked out of the sunshine of opportunity, it's us. It depends upon all of us to come together united and strong to defend their interests and say no to these cuts. No to those who, again, would roll back all of the benefits that unions have had the right to organize and have had the right to put together. I stand with all of you. I stand with Wisconsin. I stand with New York City. I stand with New York State and say, let's stand up and defend the dream, the American dream. Let's, again, take back our government, take back Wisconsin. God bless you and thank you.
I'm here on behalf of Lillian Roberts, the Executive Director of DC 37. And she wants to let everyone here know one thing. We completely support the workers in Wisconsin, and we're going to do whatever we need to do to make sure we make that right for them. We're not just going to do it in Wisconsin, we're going to do it in every state across this country. Because what they plan to do in Wisconsin is what they plan to do in New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, Florida, and we're just not having it. We're not having it, and we'll let everyone know we're not having it. Because just like the council member said, unions built this country. Unions gave us 2 days off. Unions gave us health benefits. Union gave us minimum wage. It was unions that built this country, and it is unions that will support this country and make it stronger. And anybody that gets in the way, we're going to have to get them out of office. If they think that they can do what they're doing in Wisconsin and New York, I've got news for them. It's just not going to be about what's happening in Wisconsin. I have great faith in the American people. They know what to do. We fought revolutions, and there are other revolutions within the world that we can take our notes from, and we know how to put people out of office if they're not going to give us what we need. All they're building now in New York is upper middle class housing. Where's the housing for people who are working class? They keep talking about affordable housing. What's affordable housing? $3,000 a month? No, affordable housing isn't $2,000 a month. Affordable housing for most working class New Yorkers isn't even $1,000 a month. That's why in some neighborhoods you have 2 and 3 families living in a 1-bedroom apartment just so they can keep a roof over their kids' heads and keep feeding them. All right? We're not having that either. They need to start putting together some type of public workers program, some type of projects that will put people back to work, just like they did in the 30s. If we have to go dig up Franklin Delano Roosevelt or Mayor LaGuardia, we'll go do that. We'll put people in public office who know what the worker needs. We don't need people in office who just tell people, let them eat cake. So, we're here, we're approximately 200,000 strong in DC 37, and as stated by our Executive Director Lillian Roberts, we're going to do whatever we have to do to make sure all approximately 200,000 of us are on the streets letting everyone know you will not put public servants out of work, you will not cut their benefits, you will not kill their pensions, especially when you're giving $43.8 billion in tax breaks to the wealthy in the United States. You're going to start giving tax breaks to us. You're going to make the finance industry buy us homes and buy us cars if necessary, because we're not going to suffer anymore. Keep pushing and we will push back.
When I say people, you say power. People. 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 When I say fair, you say share. Fair. Fair. People. People. Fair. Fair. People. People. Our next guest is representing CWA 1180. It's Arthur Chaliotis. Give him a hand.
When you look at any dictator anywhere in the world, one of the first things they attack are free trade unions. Mubarak, Gaddafi, Hitler, Mussolini, Joe Stalin, they all attacked free trade unions. And of course, Ronald Reagan. And Ronald Reagan put this country on the path that got us to today. Understand this. When he cut taxes for the rich, he allowed the concentration of wealth from 70% down to 28% for the rich. Up until that time, everyone got a piece of the American dream. There was opportunity for every worker. There was opportunity for anyone who wanted to commit themselves to get ahead. When I was here in this city as a student, I went to the City University, one of the best free colleges in this country. I paid $32 a semester for school, and I got a damn good education, and I couldn't figure out why I had to pay for books, because I didn't pay for books when I was in high school. That's just the approach that we took. And when we went for our shots, we went to the Department of Health. And we had a good public school system. And we had a system that worked for everybody in the city and gave them all the opportunity. They are tearing that away. And what we see today is Wall Street. The top 1% in this city took in 45% of all the income in 2007. 45% of all the income in the city. But they only paid 25% of the taxes. I just drove here from Albany. In Albany, the students are out there in front of the governor's office on the second floor of the Capitol, demanding that millionaires pay their fair share. We demand that millionaires pay their fair share. There is no need for any budget cuts. Government isn't too big. Revenues have not been collected as they should be. When that radical socialist Nelson Rockefeller was president of this state,
The millionaires were paying over 15% in income tax. Now they pay what, 7 and change? It's out, and they want to give them a tax break? Are they out of their minds? We have to come together and realize that when government works the way it should, it works for everybody. That when government does what it should do for the people and not for the corporations, it makes life better for everybody. And it is our government, not their government. The Supreme Court be damned and their proposal on Citizens United. The Supreme Court needs to be told this country doesn't belong to corporations, it belongs to the people of this nation. And we have had enough. And we will start to fight as never before. We will grab each other's hand and we will stand together because we want our democracy to work for all the people. And as a member of organized labor, I am here to tell you that we have been waiting for this moment for you don't know how long. We are glad to see. Since the last May the last time I can remember rallies like this, I was a student protesting against Vietnam. I ain't that young anymore. But you know what? I am so inspired. I am so ready. I have waited for this so long. We can do this. We can take back our nation. It's not to be run by the billionaires. It's to be run by the people.
So folks, I'm here from the Job Party. My name is Jonathan Tassini, and we are not just trying to stop the assault on collective bargaining. We are going to every corner of America to say that every single American deserves a decent job. Every single American should be employed in this country. We have the greatest crisis that we've had in my lifetime. Not only the 15 million people that don't work, there are millions of other people who work at crappy jobs, non-union jobs. We have probably 20% unemployment and underemployment in this country. Think about that. You don't see those numbers even going back to the Great Depression. So I want you to think about 3 things here, my 3 points. And the first one is something that if you don't remember anything I said, I want you to remember this single point. I want you to tell it to everybody you know, every one of your neighbors, everybody you meet in the street. There is no debt or deficit crisis in this country. It's a phony lie. This country is the wealthiest nation in human history. We have plenty of money. So again, remember this, because you will hear this nonsense out of the New York Times, you will hear this nonsense, and I'm going to be very nonpartisan here, you will hear this nonsense from Republicans and Democrats. There is no debt or deficit crisis. There is no reason to cut a single dime for the livelihood of people that make up a single worker.
On the mic, on the mic.
There is no debt crisis, right? Right. There is no debt crisis. So, the second point is this, and some people have referred to this. We know where the money is. You know, one of my favorite people is the famous Willie Sutton. And you all know about Willie Sutton, don't you? Willie Sutton was that famous bank robber, and I know everybody's smiling out there. You know what he said. When asked why he robbed banks, what did he say? Oh my God, this is a crowd or what? This is a New York crowd. We know where the money is. We know exactly where to get the money to make sure that everybody has a decent job. We know exactly where to get the money to make sure that we don't lay off teachers and firefighters and policemen. It's the rich. So what? Tax the rich. Tax the rich. Tax the rich. Tax the rich.
Tax the rich! Tax the rich! Tax the rich!
Now, Arush mentioned before, here's a number, remember, 430, we have now in this country 413 billionaires. And they have a total net worth of $1.5 trillion. Now that is immoral in the United States of America. And that's where we know where we can get that money. And let's be clear, and I said I'm nonpartisan about this, those people who are not willing to go after the rich, they should be voted out of office. And I don't care whether they're Republicans or Democrats. This is about the people. And here's my final point. And I want to thank you all for coming out. And I hope that when we hit the streets again, when the workers here in the city or the workers in the state or the football players or whoever it is are out on the picket line, every single person, you will remember you are standing here. You promised to yourselves to come out to a rally. Here's the final point. Over 200 years ago, there's a document written that is referred to and revered by lots of people who don't know what that document said, and that was called the U.S. Constitution. And in the United States Constitution, in the preamble, there are a few words that we must say and repeat time after time, that this country was created to promote the general welfare. The welfare of the people, not the welfare of the rich. And those people who will not stand for the people are anti-American and not patriotic, and they do not deserve to be in leadership positions in the world. And we are going to create the movement to hold them accountable. Tax the rich!
Tax the rich! Tax the rich! Tax the rich!
Tax the rich. Somebody has to. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not enough that the Republican Party promote policies that oppress women. It's not enough that the Republican Party recklessly sends our troops into war and leaves them there and then doesn't take care of them when they come back home. It's not enough that the Republican Party refuses to address climate change and destroys the environment. Now they're going after teachers. Teachers. The people who we need to be competitive in this global economy. Our next speaker is going to come and tell us her story. She's a retired public employee living in Harlem, New York City. Sylvia Tyler, please come up.
Hello, everyone. You look beautiful. You look strong. We are strong. We're going to stay in there and fight. My story. I retired from public school, New York City public school system after teaching 28 years. I retired in 2003. By 2005, I missed it, so I've gone back and substituted a lot. I've seen a lot of schools, so-called schools that are successful, schools that are struggling, and I want to tell you, in all those schools, the teachers, the staff, they're demoralized by Bloomberg's tactics and practices, and Jewel, and the guy who just left, Joel Klein. They pit one group against the other. You have the controversy of charter schools versus public schools. Now, people think that charter schools are successful, public schools are failures. Not true. I have been in many successful schools in District 5, in District 6, and District 3. And I've seen charter schools that failed. Okay, now they're pitting older teachers, more experienced teachers against new teachers. That's Bloomberg's way. He's using that as a way to pit one group against the other, saying, why let go? And he calls the new teachers the good teachers. The older teachers are the ones that aren't the good teachers. That is not true. All those years of teaching, when I started, we really went into the class and you had to really sink or fail, and your teachers who were there with you helped you, and the administrations help you. Schools are supposed to be environments that are nourishing and that enrich children's lives, that teach them how to be creative thinkers and how to analyze and how to have a joy of learning. Bloomberg's tactics have taken that away, focusing on high-stakes testing and giving schools grades, all kinds of things to make people watch their back and feel very nervous. The people in public schools are not happy, and Bloomberg has been allowed to get away with it. He's a billionaire. Billionaires have done a lot of damage in this country. Greedy billionaires, they're not all billionaires, but the greedy corporate class. And we need to think about them and stop letting them put us to sleep with the media. The media speaks for them and puts us to sleep. We're going to stay in this fight. Stay in this fight. We're going to stay in this fight. Thank you. Thank you.
Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. The union makes us strong. What ought we have in common with the greedy parasite who would lash us into serfdom and would crush us with his might? What else do we have to us but to organize and fight? The union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. The union makes us strong. They have taken untold